can you see it now?
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, Amouranth's husband? Nice to meet you.
Hi, how's it going?
You're a real warrior. You're a good husband, man.
A few minutes after I lay down, actually, I hear like 2 loud bangs, like super loud, come from below me, because there's a patio right below my master bedroom. And I called him and I said, did you hear that? He said, no, what? It's like I heard loud bangs coming from downstairs. And he said it was probably the dogs, but I felt like it was a lot louder than the dogs normally are. So I told him, I'm gonna lock the doors just in case. All 3 of them surrounding me, and I was sitting in the chair. And so instinctively, I was just putting my hands up like this, and that's why you don't see it on my head, actually.
And so we have all the footage. Like, people doubt that she was being hit. Like, I mean, the footage is actually there. First responders who arrived treating her. So the reason why we're even able to talk about it today is because we got an okay finally from the detective on the case. They arrested one of the guys today.
Good.
This is why you should never be a robber. I want to start this video by saying that I feel so bad for Amouranth for this whole thing, and I'll talk about her situation online after her home invasion. Some of you guys probably know about this already, and I say I feel bad for her because apart from the trauma and physical injuries of being pistol whipped in the head, she has had to unfortunately also experience people online calling her a liar because they just don't believe her. Like, all these people have called the robbery completely staged and scripted, which honestly, I could forgive that when the story first broke out, but today I'll be going over some newly released footage of the robbery as it happened, where even then people still believe it's fake without clarifying why. Like, honestly, I promise you guys that after you see these clips I'm gonna go over, you'll find it hard to believe that it was a setup and definitely not real, as some of these people call it. So the first bit of clips we have is from this great channel, KHOU11, you know, that's my favorite news station, whatever, and they made a video 5 hours ago where they talked to Amouranth and her husband, her abusive husband, you know, if you remember from like fucking 2 years ago when that drama happened. And holy shit, they have like actual camera footage of inside the house as it happened. So please watch this video and see the part where like she gets dragged by her hair and tell me it's fake.
You may not have heard of Caitlin Siragusa, who has built a multi-million-dollar empire through her online streaming persona, Amouranth. In the past few years as an influencer, the 31-year-old has amassed millions of followers and subscribers. A week and a half ago, she learned she's become a target for predators too.
I hear 2 loud...
What an awful choice of words. Predators. I think you mean more robbers. Your predators, you know, like that's a different thing, different fucked up kind of people.
crashes coming from below my master, but I didn't think it was the dogs. It was very loud.
Caitlin was lying in bed on Sunday, March 2nd at about 10:30 at night. She was on the phone with her husband, Nick, who was in another building on their property.
I told him, well, somebody is coming in here right now, and then as soon as I said that, they kicked down the door.
Before she knew it, Caitlin was a hostage.
And it's 3 men.
I'll put in the clip pretty soon, this video of when they shot her door to break in. That was crazy. I will say now, the one bit of detail we had no idea about was that she was actually on her phone with her husband, as you can see before. This guy right here on the right, and that's, you know, a bit of a weird detail because at the time one big point of contention was that she was on the phone as they broke in and she was tweeting but not calling the police, and at the time it made sense because he said, you know, if I call the police right then and there I'll get shot. It's a death sentence, and that makes sense. But I think there's an important detail to say that she actually did call someone and it was her husband. Even then, I feel like, you know, the robbers, when they saw her, you know, call him, they would have understood and not shot her. Like, if you called 911 right then and there, 100%, you know, they would have fucking grabbed the phone or shot her, God forbid. So that's a new detail. A lot of people giving her shit now, being like, oh my god, she's lying, she's changing the story now, you know, this is clear evidence that's fake. In my mind, honestly, I think someone, you know, at a point of very high stress, like being fucking robbed, having a gun pointed at their head, they would omit that detail. Not intentionally, you know, but once it becomes more calm, she would develop it. So, no, you know, I don't think this story is still fake. You know, I think she clarified now, which is good, and that it wasn't, you know, like a sign of it wasn't a sign of it being staged, as some people will say.
Building on their property.
I told him, well, somebody is coming in here right now, and then as soon as I said that, they kicked down the door.
Before she knew it, Caitlin was a hostage.
And it's 3 men in my room, and they're pointing the gun at me and screaming at me to stand up.
They walked her over to the chair.
Like, I thought I was gonna die, because they just kept beating me. They keep saying, "Where's the crypto? Where's the crypto?"
Caitlin was pistol whipped a total of 3 times, so
God,
she
yeah, I
decided.
can somewhat see it. Also, I haven't seen just yet, but some people are probably like, "Oh my God, you can barely see the scar." You know, another point of another sign of evidence that's fake. No, still, like, I don't believe it. Also, for point of reference, as you see in a second, her husband Nick, right, that guy on the left, he was in a different part of the house that she then let the robbers into, and he fucking shot her. That's on a part. I'll get into that in a second, but holy shit.
Leads the men downstairs and through the kitchen.
For me, it was like there's only one thing to do.
Okay, the worst thing of all, their house is a mess. No, I'm kidding. But like, look at this shit,
Entire
dude.
time this is happening, Nick is on the other end of the phone, still in the other building, listening to what's happening, tracking the robbers on the security cameras.
My God, dude, I'm sorry, but in my mind, when I imagine someone faking a house robbery, a house invasion, they would not have shit like this. Like, even if they had like 3 retarded actors to be the robbers, they would not be that violent, grabbing her by the fucking hair. Look at this shit, dude.
I think I know where it is.
She leads the men downstairs and through the kitchen.
For me, it was like there's only one thing.
Look, dude, that's insane. Okay, if there's one retard in the conversation, if you come in the video right now being like, "Oh my God, yeah, I still think it's fake," you're a moron. How can you look at it and tell me that it's staged?
He puts on his Kevlar vest, loads his gun, and calls 911.
Like, I was just like, she is definitely gonna,
I was saying as well, when I made my first video on this, the story when it broke out, I believed initially that it was Amouranth who shot them, but no, as you see in a second, it turned out to be Nick himself that got ready. Like, he could see from the camera footage, or like, he heard over the phone what was happening, and he knew like he was gonna lead them to the section of the house where he was, and say what you will about this guy, from fucking 2 years ago, but in this moment, he fucking locked in and put on a vest and put on his fucking pistol. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna say like, they could have died potentially from the robbery, but like, this guy's quick intuition saved them. It saved them and the crypto, which the robbers were going after.
Was right.
It's in here.
Security video shows Caitlin leading the armed robbers to the other building where Nick is waiting, lights out at the top of the stairs. Caitlin leads them right to him.
When she turned the corner, I said, duck, and then, get down.
Nick fires 2 or 3 shots, hitting one of the men, and they flee.
You guys suck so bad at your job. I mean, I'm glad you did, because otherwise you would have fucking hurt an innocent person. But bro, if these were for like a mafia or whatever, your boss would fucking kill you when you came back home. You guys are so worthless. Also, I would say like this guy, the husband Nick, has some experience swatting. Because what person, would fucking have the intuition to put on a vest and like the plan he had was actually genius. Gotta respect that. He was like right there in the stairs, and he had like the gun pointed like around a corner where they couldn't see him, but the second they turned around, he fucking shot them. I mean, he didn't kill anyone, but he planned it well enough where they got away and nobody got hurt. Well, him and his wife didn't get hurt, so that's good. If I was him, I would just be miserable and point the gun on my head like, "Oh my God, just leave me alone, just take her, leave me alone."
Houston police arrive a short time later and secure the property.
I'm going to set the bail in each of these cases at $50,000.
Take a guess at who this guy is. I'll just say right now, he's one of the he confessed to being the getaway driver for this whole thing. I'm not sure if he was one of the guys that fucking ran out, one of the 3 guys, or if he was off camera, but either way, they caught one of the pieces of shit. Thank God.
This week, police made an arrest. Brian Salazar Guerrero has been charged with aggravated robbery and aggravated kidnapping. Prosecutors say he confessed to being the getaway driver for the attackers. The other 3 still haven't been caught.
Okay, so it was 4 people in total, okay.
Stepping up their security with armed guards outside of their home now, but even still, they say they aren't able to sleep in peace. They're grateful, though.
Right, bro, imagine being one of the robbers and seeing this whole shit. Like, a wagon, what do you call this car? Is that like a Rolls Royce, whatever? And a fucking G-Wagon, holy shit. If you would think you hit the jackpot of rich people, and then you fucking ran out like pussies. Oh. Oh, so that was the end of the video, and now I want to go to the Xero because they had the footage of not only the break-in, but also, as you see in a second, like the aftermath, like the next morning, where you have bits of blood coming from on the floor. I'm not sure if it was from her or the robbers, and then also the fence where they broke in, and also footage of the police coming in. Like, I'll watch in a second, but once again, at this point, I don't get how people can look at this and be like, oh, it's so clearly fake, when the amount of evidence is so fucking damning. For a second, let me watch the video because it's so scary. Of the robbers shooting down her door to break in. It's insane, dude.
What's the lie? What's the lie? Just do it! Go!
I probably have to shut up because you can't see much visually. It's more like audible, of them screaming at her. I'm gonna feel so dumb if I get this video age restricted, it gets taken down. From what I could hear, like they said, first of all, what's the crypto? I'm gonna fucking kill you. It was not, I think everybody knew already, if you believe it's true, you could tell already that these guys were fucking amateurs. Number one, because we saw them run away at the first sign of danger. That was pretty funny. But second of all, how much of a rush were they in to, break down the door and say right off the bat, we're gonna kill you. Okay, I want to show that part of the clip because the rest is just, you're gonna hear them actually beating her with the pistol over the head. I'm not gonna play that, that's just miserable. I just wanna go over the footage, the other stuff that's not violent and that won't make you miserable. For one, it was this other clip where you can see the blood trail. If you remember, she made a tweet saying like, I got one of them, or Nick shot one of them, and that she's not sure if it was the blood of her or robbers. I mean, you can clearly tell it was the robbers because from the clip, we saw them run away and they're making the way along the entrance from what I can see. So I think in this, in this blood trail is from the robbers. And the second one was of the fans. Oh my god, dude. Okay, if you want to give shit, like, nothing against Nick, that husband, but if there's one thing you can criticize him for is doubting Amouranth. Because you remember that first video, it began, with her hearing like some bang outside, and then she called Nick, was like, I think something's going on, and he's like, no, it's just the dogs, Nick, if you acted up right then and there, you could have saved us, from getting ugly. Also, I want to say now as well, how thin were they? To go for this tiny fence, and also, like, what the fuck did they go from? Because you can barely enter from like this section, because of the chicken wire. So I guess they just had like a very tight squeeze, I imagine. And again, for the nth time, if you really believe this is fake, how do you explain this? Actual police officers and ambulance workers coming out from a house. Okay, you can't just stage that. If you did, the police, would call you out and say like, this is clearly fake. This is a waste of our time. Like, this is ridiculous. Also, I want to say now as well, you have like an actual clown posse of police officers. Like, look how many fucking come out. I mean, I think this is natural because, in something like this, having a fucking house robbery in a huge mansion, the house of Amouranth, it would be warranted to have this many people. It's terrifying as well because you have no idea, if they're gonna come back. I mean, they got away after they were shot, but there's always that risk, potentially, I don't know, of them coming back. So, you gotta bring in as many people as possible. Oh no, so I wanted to show this before, but this is a picture of her bedroom door that got fucking shot and kicked in. Holy shit. I'm so, like, once again, for any situation where, you believe it's fake, you can, make a point that, oh, we barely have any evidence. But with Amouranth, I feel so bad for her. She has so much evidence, with the first tweet, when they broke out, you have that, and also police reports, the getaway driver being arrested, actual medical record, I'll put it up in a second, but actual records from the hospital of when she actually get like stitches for her head, when she got pistol whipped. Like, there's so much here, but people still believe, oh no, it's fake, because it's just Amouranth. It makes no sense. I'm not sure if I'll find the police document, but here's the one from the hospital saying, diagnosis, laceration of scalp, initial encounter, head injury, assault. If you look at this and you still believe it's fake, there's no hope for you at all. Like, this is so bad. It's just miserable at this point. The only thing that for some people may not line up is true details. Number one, she said initially that she didn't call anybody, or that she couldn't call anyone because it would be a death sentence. But now we know that she did call Nick, her husband, before they broke into her bedroom door. We know that. And second of all, people criticizing her when they said, oh, you said in your first tweet that you shot them, but as it turns out it was Nick. Which one is it? I'm gonna be honest, I thought about that for like 5 seconds and then I realized, well, yeah, it makes sense. In a moment of high stress, you wouldn't paint the clearest picture and you just say, oh, I shot them. And also, well, before in the past, it's actually shocking, before in the past we never seen her husband Nick. So I'm guessing, before they had an interview with Aiden Ross, she's very secret about him. She didn't want him live on the internet, not that much. So it makes sense that at the time she would be like, I'm not sure if I want to talk about my husband on Twitter just yet. So yeah, I think it's plausible. It's not that fucking insane to believe. And as well, in my mind, I could believe it because it would be like a team battle between Amouranth and her husband Nick versus the robbers. So when you say I, it could also be your own teammates, your own husband, winning the game and fucking beating those robbers. It's my opinion. So those are the 2 points that people are saying prove to this being fake. But even despite that, like I said, I don't believe it. And regardless, even then, there are lesser people that, still believe it's fake and don't elaborate why. Like these goddamn one. Like if you go to this Dexero article, 185 replies. Let's see what I have to say. Am I the only one that finds it hard to believe? And they have a, great reply. They have a SpongeBob reaction image. This is so good, dude. I can't explain why, but something about the whole story feels off. Then, the husband we were told about was abusive apparently, saves her in this horrible robbery. And some gossip/news Twitter account gets all this exclusive footage and a hospital record. Oh, this is the worst. 34 likes. This is worthless. Okay, I'm sorry, but in my mind, a husband being abusive, and also saving his life and his wife's life, they're not mutually exclusive. Like, yeah, you can do both, you moron. Also, and the way that he just trivializes Dexero as some gossip news tour account. If there's one publication you go to with videos, yeah, it would be Dexero. Because guess what? They cover streamer news. If you want your story to get out there and have the proof all over the internet, then yeah, you will go to Dexero. It makes sense. What are you on about? And then you have the same guy as well from before, Suarez, saying, I think this video is fake and scripted. Like, I was not even, being hyperbolic in my intro that people actually call this fake and scripted. You actually believe it. And also as well, 200 likes. So not only do you have this moron making this awful statement, but then also 200 people agreeing with it. Like, what are you on about? They're asking for crypto like it's something you can physically have. Like she's gonna keep that on USB under her bed. Okay, thank God, finally, one normal reply that's not that batshit crazy. Yeah, these guys are so dumb and pathetic, the robbers I mean. They went to a house, they were so sloppy with it, and then they were risking jail time for just bitcoins or crypto, whatever. I mean, it makes sense, that's very valuable, but like, why not something physical? Like with crypto, she might have like a backup or a tactic where, once you have it, you can freeze it like a bank account. Why would you steal a crypto wallet? That's so dumb. I'm still stuck on the part where her heavily abusive husband, who forced her into being a sexualized figure for all these years, was still apparently in the picture during this. Yeah, okay, I will agree with that. It has been 2 years since then, and somehow, okay, I don't want to give you any shit to Amouranth, I'm on her side, but yeah, somehow after all that time, they're still together. I'm not a marriage counselor, but like, I would have, after that whole drama back then, I would split off from it. Just saying. Oh my god, I love Twitter. I love Twitter because whenever you go to a big post and you scroll down far enough, you get like the most nothing replies ever. This feels staged. SpongeBob and Patrick being like, is it sad that I still think this shit is staged as the relevancy has been slipping, lol. Like I would take, oh my god, dude. Like I would take a bet that she comes out and says, catch the rest of the footage on my OnlyFans. Oh my, yeah guys, I'm gonna be honest. I think she faked having her door shot, having her hair pulled, being pistol whipped in the head, having a blood trail on the ground on her entrance. I think all of that's faked because she's not relevant. you're dumb. Again, before I end this video, it actually blows my mind that so many people are questioning Amouranth over this when we literally have so much footage. And some of these people that just say they don't believe her, you know, they're doing it because they were questioning that situation, like I said, with her and her husband back like 2 years ago. And that's it. And listen, okay, I can't remember anything from it because I didn't care about when it happened, but not a single person that I saw that made that point could clarify how they're connected, apart from just, oh, well, her husband Nick was abusive to her back then, but now today he will save her life. And I'm just like, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, regardless, in any situation, these people will listen to the gut and now question their own verdict. Maybe some of them, you know, might look into it more and see some damning evidence, like that video I watched, but even then, they were just worms that will believe they're right because they had a sneaking suspicion she was lying back like 2 years ago, and that's it. Nothing else. God.